Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is officially Friday. It's the end of the month, February 28th. And Donald Trump is still, by far, not even close, the best president in American history. Patriots, it's really good to be back with you on this fine Friday morning. Quite possibly might be my favorite day of the week because it's a little bit more loosey-goosey. We can have a little bit more fun here on the show, talk to you in the chat, go over various news articles either we weren't able to get to or there's updates, which we have. And like I said, it's just a little bit more of a relaxed show, which I always appreciate. Some people ask, it's 9 a.m. on the East Coast. Any news on the E-Files? Well, sir. Yes, Weaver. We got the news for you. We got the Epstein list. Yes, so let's just jump right into it. We have Pam Bondi saying the FBI lied to her about turning over the Epstein files. Uh-oh. Not good. The list did come out yesterday, and it was lackluster, let's just say. There wasn't much there. Like, there was flight logs. And people are like, well, Trump's name was on the flight log, so he was going to the island. No, really, that's what they are saying. Like these main influencers on TikTok. I was watching TikTok last night, like that one kid, Harry, for some ungodly reasons being paid off by the DNC, the Democratic National Communist Party. He's saying, oh, well, Trump's on the Epstein list. Yeah, he went on the plane with the guy, or he at least was on the plane at some point. We already knew that. We already knew Trump's name was going to be on the flight logs. That's not anything new. And he was only going to like New Jersey or like Mar-a-Lago, like he was going back to Florida. The flight wasn't going to the island. This is how dumb these people are, Patriots. You have to explain how flight logs work to people. You know how like you go up to the airport and you see, oh, it's going to LAX to like, I don't know, another airport's like acronym. I just know LAX. But you know what I mean. It's just go LAX to this airport back to LAX. They can't do it. They can't do it. In an FBI letter, Kash Patel, Attorney General Pam Bondi accused the Bureau of lying to her about turning over its files on millionaire sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I believe she already talked to Kash on the phone. I think this is more of a public PR to not make the Trump administration not look as bad. Because look, they said we were going to get them. I told y'all I was going to hold Trump's feet to the fire. I haven't gotten anything new. As far as I'm aware of, I haven't seen nothing new. Bondi sent the letter on Thursday after she said she learned from a source Wednesday night that she hadn't received all the Epstein files, despite the FBI's repeated assurances that she had. If a 3-ring, 2-inch binder has all the Epstein files in it, it just makes me wonder if the whole thing is even a thing. Really? Hold on. I understand the binder said phase 1 on it. There wasn't much in that binder, you guys. You're talking about one of the biggest sexting / operations in the world with the elites. And you're telling me we're getting... Folks, it could have been in a 1/2-inch binder. I'm just going to be real with you, okay? There wasn't shit in that thing. I saw people hold it up. I looked at it. Come on. I'm not happy about it, just to let you know. I'm sure you can tell. I'm trying to bring it down a bit because it's a Friday, because Friday's supposed to be a good day. But, Before coming into office, I requested the full and complete files related to Jeffrey Epstein, Bondi wrote to Patel. According to a copy, the letter posted to X by Michael Schellenberger. If you don't follow Michael Schellenberger on X, you should. You'll get a lot of good news from that guy. In response to this request, I received approximately 200 pages of documents. Really? Which consisted primarily of flight logs, Epstein's list of contacts, and a list of victims' names and phone numbers. Huh. Didn't we raid his did we go to his property and take stuff? Like, isn't there security cam footage? Is this really it? This is all we got? I repeatedly questioned whether it was the full set of documents responsive to my request and was repeatedly assured by the FBI that we had received the full set of documents. Late yesterday, I learned from a source that the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of related documents to the investigation and indictment of Epstein. Despite my repeated request, the FBI has never disclosed the existence of these files. Where you at, Kash? We want to cash in. We want to see the goods. People are talking about how funny would it be if we released like the actual like celebrity list that was on the island and photos and videos of all these celebrities right before the Oscars, like 24 hours before the Oscars drop. Just sit there and just hit them with it. You know what I mean? How awkward would the Oscars be then? So she said, what you're going to see tomorrow is hopefully a lot of flight logs, a lot of names and information. Well, at least she didn't lie. I mean, that's literally what we got. I'm not stoked about it. I'm sure not many of you are. This is what the binders looked like, if anybody was curious. So what they did is they brought in a bunch of influencers and podcasters. And from what my understanding was, none of these people knew what they were going there for. They thought it was just like a media event. They didn't know that they were going to be getting these binders, or they didn't even know it was the Epstein drop at all, from what I was told. There's not much in these binders, folks. These are pretty empty. All right. So we're gonna keep you updated, but I'm watching the news in real time always while I'm doing this show, and I'm not seeing anything in terms of updates from Epstein. If you guys know, hey, Brad, it just dropped, you're blah, 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 you're working on another story, let me know, and I'll talk about it. But if you're liking what you're seeing, hit that like and subscribe button, folks. We're here every single morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm a Lone Ranger here. I do it all. I hit the switch. I work the camera, and I sit there and I do the news. All right. And if you like it and you're new here, follow us. It says, good morning, Patriots. Southern Louisiana Swamp Lady checking in. Miss Mom, that name sounds new. I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Well, welcome. If you are new here, let us know. We'd love to give you a shout out. We got Willa Knotts saying there was an 8 a.m. deadline this morning to NY FBI. Yeah, I heard about that. It would be an hour past that. We'll see if Kash is actually on top of it. Hopefully they release some stuff while we're live. That'd be awesome. Cece said, ridiculous to bring influencers and give them the binders. I see that like a joke. It would have been nice to get a little bit more of a media presence. Not everybody, I should kind of rephrase that. Not everybody was an influencer. Some of them were like podcasters, like working for the Blaze or whatever. And I think maybe the idea behind it was because these are influencers, they're trying to reach out to like new media, that those people like DC Dredge, like a lot of people follow him on Twitter or X. And so I think the idea was, hey, they would be able to take these documents and post them to X and kind of get the word out there and basically do the work for the Trump administration without them having to do it and then go off and work on other things. Maybe that, I have no idea. I'm just speculating, but it would be nice to get some of the media in there as well, like actual news media. But you know how they spin stuff. Wood says, and what the hell was with the GOP official Twitter account sending an Epstein documents released, and it was a link to a Rickroll? I don't know if that's real, but if it is, that's funny. Also messed up, but yes. Fred Ford says, good morning from Old Man in Texas. Shout out to Texas, the Lone Star State. Hell yeah. Well, let's get into some updates here with Kathy Hochul's New York prisons. So if you're unaware, we did cover the story. We got more updates. This lady. There are these, I don't know, what do you call the correction officers that are striking right now because of how the environment is in these prisons where they're being attacked, they're being hurt, they're being harassed and all these things. And Hochul doesn't want to meet their demands. Now, what Hochul's doing is saying, you better show up or else we're going to arrest you. What? So there's some graphic footage here obtained by the Daily Wire. Daily Wire is really upgraded in their journalism, by the way. They're doing a great job. Appears to showcase how violent New York prisons have become for inmates, correctional officers, and other workers since the Democrat-backed HALT Act took effect in 2022. A source who wishes to remain anonymous out of fear of retribution leaked the alleged footage from Greenhaven Correctional Facility, wishes to expose how dangerous conditions are as 15,000 that's a lot of correctional officers and sergeants across the state remain on strike. I want to see. That would have been terrible if I was like, I got the footage, and then I don't have the footage. I didn't even check. Here it is. YouTube, listen closely. This is for educational purposes only. Warning, the following contains graphic content of prison violence. Viewer discretion is advised. For educational purposes, YouTube. Yeah, there we go. All right, I don't know if it has audio or not. Look at these animals. Look at these animals. They're not treating them humanely. Oh. How could they? By the way, I'm talking about what Democrats say about the Democrats, the prisoners. That's crazy. That guy's by himself, by the way. That's insane. Where is everybody? Dude, you just got people walking around and homie's by himself. But like I said, it's more of a loosey-goosey show here today, folks. Hop in the chat here with me. What's stopping this guy, and the guy that just went down the stairs from honestly killing the guy? I'm really fed up with how we just kowtow to the Democrats and these progressives. Like, it's not nice. It's not clean. Look at these floors. These floors are cleaner than some of the people I know that I hang out with. Look at this. Now, I'm just going to show you how maybe we should start making our prisons here in the United States again, because we could probably learn something from El Salvador here. Now, here's what a real prison looks like. Here, nobody's going to F around and find out. This is the prison that's in El Salvador. These people are in there for life. I want to point out, from my understanding, some of these people actually did not even necessarily commit like a crime. It's a crime, I believe, to be a part of a gang, which is why they're in there. So if you're just a gang member, you're in there for life. That was my understanding from the people who have done interviews to the people that have been there. I could be wrong, so take that with a grain of salt. But it's weird. I don't see anybody getting their ass kicked here. Does anybody else? Anybody throwing punches? I don't think so. We know why. Oh, we know why. Look at this.
This is the Textile Maquila workshop, where 6,600 inmates produce up to 600,000 garments per month. Over 188,000 medical use garments have been made, including uniforms.
Now, this wouldn't fly because they're going to take the needles and the machinery and all that other stuff and ruin it. So shout out to the correctional officers out there doing the Lord's work in New York City, but not having the backing of Kathy Hochul because she has her head up her. You know what? If you want to get a Republican in there that actually is an alpha, he'll clean some stuff up real quick. Miss Mom 2 with the $2 says new, but I've lurked. Really enjoy the show. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Don't stop lurking. If you're in here, if you're lurking, hop in the chat. We want to hang out with you fine people. What's going on, Cindy? What's going on, Emmy? I see you, Emmy. I see you. That sounded so weird. I'm sorry. As I said it the second time, I'm like, wait a minute, it comes across a little creepy. I apologize. Karen says worked at Colonial Inn for a short time. See, this is what happens sometimes when I jump into other chat, like the other chat, and sometimes people are talking with one another. Nothing wrong with that. It's just I mess up. What's going on, Jason? Hi, Brad. Good to be here. Glad you are here, sir. Thank you, Jason. Jason, is it Marlon Martin? So tiny. That's what she said. All right, let's jump into the next bit of news here. Pete Hegseth is doing cuts to troops with gender dysphoria. This is interesting. Whenever you hear me do like a Trump thing and I'm on the phone and I go, hey, Pete, come in. I want to blow something up. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Pete Hegseth, just a heads up. For anybody that wants to be in like the know of our little charades here. So the Department of Defense is cutting and disqualifying members of the military who suffer from gender dysphoria. A new memo from the Pentagon directs a review of service members with past diagnoses of gender dysphoria or who identify as transgender. The memo was revealed in a Wednesday court filing in a legal case challenging the United States military move to disqualify people suffering from gender dysphoria from service. I find that fascinating because depending on what your IQ level is, the military also won't take you. So should we be suing the military for taking in people that are low IQ individuals? Of course not. We should. No, you shouldn't be walking around. It sounds really bad. You shouldn't be. I'm not saying there's not a place for you. They probably could. It's the United States military, but you probably don't want somebody with an extremely low IQ or has mental problems walking around the base with a weapon or a firearm or a grenade. Then they snap and they just go off. Well, couldn't that happen to anybody? Yeah, in theory it could, but let's not increase the probability of it happening. Service members who have current diagnosis or history of or exhibit symptoms consistent with gender dysphoria will be processed for separation from military service. Waivers will be granted on a case-by-case basis in situations where there is a compelling government interest in retaining a service member that directly supports warfighting capabilities. Those who apply for a waiver must have never tried to transition. Remember when the Biden administration and Democrats wanted all of us to pay for not just transgender surgeries of these people, but also just illegal immigrants and everybody else across the world, including even animals? And they're still trying to rationalize that behavior. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. It's like a teenager. It's like a teenage boy getting caught watching porn by his family. And he's trying to rationalize and come up with any other excuse as to why he was watching porn on the computer. The Democrats are the ones that are watching porn here, and they got caught with their pants down and doing a little bit of funky, and now they're trying to figure out, how do I get out of this one? That's basically what we're seeing in real time right now. It's true. It's true. So the memo is a result of an executive action Donald Trump took on his first day in office, revoking an order from President Joe Biden's order signed on his first day in office, banned discrimination on the basis of gender identity in the military. So, it's always discrimination. Yep, it's always some sort of discrimination. Sure. We just want to make the America great again. California, that's so hard to say, still pays for prison inmates to get transgender surgery. Yeah, yes it does. God, my state. The state is just, it's something else. I love it, but also hate it. I love it, but hate it. The chain gang could also teach them a trade by having them work on roads and other labor-intensive jobs. Yeah, why don't we get them out there cleaning up more trash on the side of the freeway? You know what I mean? Why don't we have them start doing construction work? It'd really save us a lot of money. But then, Democrats want to pay them for the work that they're doing. I don't think so. Sharon says, my granddaughter joined the Navy and she is on the cover of 5-Star magazine. Oh, I'm proud of her. A female who knows she is female, by the way. Maybe you could tell us where we could find that link and I'll pop it up and I'll give her a shout out here on the Bald Brad Show. If you are in a war zone, you don't get hormone shots. Facts. I wanted to have a shock factor here of what I just did to you guys. Normally, I will transition into another article, no pun intended. But here, I just wanted you to just scream a little bit. You know what I mean? Like when a clown pops out of a closet or a car and really just surprises you. She's back. She's back. I was waiting for her to fit her head through a doorway to figure out when she was going to, say something again. So Karine Jean-Pierre is back and doing what she does best, whining about something. And she's whining over Democrats devouring Biden after debate. It was hurtful and sad. Folks, we're almost in the march. And this is what Donald Trump does to people. He messes them up so bad. He messes them up so bad that they can't ever get over it. Prime example, Hillary Clinton is still messed up mentally from what Trump did to her. Trump is a savage on that debate stage. And it doesn't just affect the person that he just smacking around. It's like a lasting effect, and it's like it just flows out like a ripple. Just a ripple to all the people in their circle. That's why you don't really hear Hillary Clinton anymore. I always share the story that there was an alleged situation, we'll call it, where nobody had heard from Hillary for like weeks. Nobody knew where she went. She wasn't at home. She wasn't, doing whatever the hell she does. And somebody was out there like jogging or whatever, or camping like in the middle of the forest. And they saw this thing just coming out, and they got scared. They thought it was Bigfoot, or in this case, Littlefoot. And they saw this like creature walking, and it was just weird as hell. And you hear the crunch of the leaves, and you hear like a, I'm embezzling this a little bit. Right? He's like, fucking, what is it? You better fucking come out. You better get out of there. It's me, Hillary. It was Hillary Clinton coming out of the woods. Okay, the whimpering was the embellishment. The Sasquatch and stepping on leaves and being Littlefoot. No, that might have been real too. But she was in the woods. Trump sent her back to the Stone Age, man. So it does the same thing here. Hurtful and sad. So former White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, the worst White House press secretary in American history, I don't think we'll see another one like it, whined at an event this week about how the media and Democrats treated former President Joe Biden following his disastrous debate performance against President Donald Trump late in June. 8 months ago. We're still on it. Jean-Pierre made the remarks on Wednesday at the Harvard Kennedy School Institute of Politics Forum. God, who would invite her to speak? Let me see. First of all, let me see if there's the clip here. There is. My internet was messing up, so I'm trying not to keep a ton of tabs open today, so we're not messing up anything. Tarbox says Hillary is out with the Sasquatch. Oh yeah, thank you, Jason. Yeah, George is out here. I forget, why do we wear a hat? Oh right, leave me alone, George. First of all, I've had that question before. It's not because I'm bald. There's actually episodes of me with no hat on, believe it or not. The purpose is because you can automatically tell that I'm an American patriot, baby. It's part of the brand. And we used to sell hats like this. So actually, I have it here. I still have the original copy of the hat. So this is the hat I've always worn. But we used to sell these, believe it or not. The same style of hat that I wear. Because a lot of people are asking. So screw you. It's for merch. It's all part of the product and the deal. Okay? Okay. Thank you, George. Thank you.
Personally, I think what was the toughest thing to see in the 3 weeks was there was a disconnect for me. What was happening with leadership in the Democratic Party and how it was truly, as my former colleague, communications director Ben LeBold said, it was a firing squad. And I had never seen anything like it before. I'd never seen a party do that in the way that they did. And it was hurtful and sad to see that happening. A firing squad around a person who I believe was a true patriot, a person who I believe did everything that he can for this country, a person who I believe, as I mentioned before, has done more in his in one term than most presidents had done in 2 terms, historical things. And I was shocked by what I was seeing.
And Karine, just to clarify, these are other Democrats and Democratic leadership coming out against Biden.
Yep, I had never seen anything like that. That was, if you're asking me, the thing that I saw in those 3 weeks, that was shocking. Shocking. And
yo, she's still peddling this fake bull crap after she's gone, which just tells me she's still in the pockets of the Biden. She's still in the pockets of the DNC. I almost just threw up just listening to her. I'm sorry.
instead of coming together to really be unified and trying to figure out how do we save our democracy, how do we fight back, that's what I was seeing. And, you know, that's what we decided to do for 3 weeks.
She's still on it. I told you, I don't think she'll ever recover. I think she's stuck like that. Trump just messed her up. Yeah, he didn't even see. The thing is that she didn't even debate Donald Trump. She's just messed up for life, just like that. Yeah, it's GG. Yeah, delusional. Dude, she's still coming out talking like that. Shout out though for not having the binder. I really thought she was gonna just like, she's sitting there with her legs crossed, just listening, and then when it's her turn, she'll just lean over slightly like she was gonna crack a fart or something, and she was just gonna take out the binder and just start. Actually, I have a response prepared. God, dude, that lady, man, it's really unbelievable. It really is. You're not going to get any truth from her, I'm telling you. But somewhere you can get truth is going over to Donald Trump's Truth Social, folks. If you're looking for a great place online for news, because you ain't going to get it from the Democrat Party, mainstream media, or legacy media. If you're looking for a place for discussion and entertainment, a lot of entertainment, let me tell you, then check out Truth Social. We are on Truth Social, believe it or not. Donald Trump's social media website. You'll be getting breaking news stories and commentary from top media figures. If you want to see Trump's legendary Truth Social posts, then get on Truth Social today. Join a growing community of patriots on a free speech platform designed to avoid censorship and cancellation by big tech. Make your voice heard. Join the movement. Join Truth Social. I almost said join social media. Holy Lord, we haven't had enough coffee. But shout out to those over at Truth Social. We are there. You can follow us. We're at BaldBrad, and you'll find me on there. But it's a great way, really. You'll not only get entertainment, but Trump posts there first. And then there is a delay between that and what he posts on X. So you actually get some of the news quicker than everybody else and get all the updates on what's going on with Mr. 45. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, again, this is a Friday episode. It's more loosey-goosey. Folks, jump in the chat with us. Like Keith. What's going on, Keith? I'm shocked to tell you. What's going on, Keith? Keith, that is a new name. I haven't seen you in here before. Are you new? We would love to give you a shout out. Dr. Nutzone, that's an interesting name. By dumb. I don't know what that means. Thank you, Heather, for following me on Truth. I should probably post on Truth a little bit more, but I'm only one man. If you guys want the skinny on this, and I'm sure many of you already know this, most people that do podcasts and stuff, they have a person that runs their social media. It's not that, sometimes it is on them on X, but most of the people that post on social media isn't really them. I'll give you actually a prime example. We're going to go to this article in a moment, but you know, the Daily Wire, I'm a big fan, obviously, but Andrew Klavan, who is a host on the Daily Wire, he used to do a everyday podcast. Now I think he's only like once a week. Well, Michael Knowles, you all know who Michael Knowles is? Michael Knowles, before he was ever on a podcast, worked for the Daily Wire behind the scenes, and he actually ran Andrew Klavan's social media account. And this is what I've heard, and I love Michael, by the way, I'm just explaining what I've gotten over the years, is Michael Knowles was hired by the Daily Wire because he mimicked so much of how Andrew Klavan is that they thought, hey, it'd be really great to have you run basically his X account and post on X for him as if it was him. So that's done a lot of times by influencers, social media. I want to be clear here. If you get a message from me on like X or something, that is me. I don't have anybody running my accounts, and I would always keep it that way. So just a heads up to all of you. But if you like what you're seeing, hit that like and subscribe button. My router restarted. Let's try again. Well, welcome. Glad you're back. Sea Dog said, made it, Brad, sir. I appreciate you gonna jump back to the beginning. Thank you for being here, sharing the news. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sea-Dog. Sea-Dog's always jumping in the chat. Always jumping. All right, let's get into this. So this might happen very, very soon here. Trump, Russia, Ukraine deal will happen fairly soon, or it won't happen at all. Ugh, don't say that. Don't say that. We're signing a deal with Zelensky, I think either this week or next week with the mineral, which is a huge deal for us. Finally, we're getting something back. Something's better than nothing. Well, Trump said here on Thursday that a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine will either come together soon or it's not going to happen at all. Trump made the remarks during a joint press conference with British Prime Minister. He said here, actually, hold on 1 second. 1 second. Oh, it's going to be too long. I don't want to watch the entire press conference. He said here, President Zelensky and my team also spoke with Secretary General of NATO on numerous occasions, and we're working very hard to get that war brought to an end. I think we've made a lot of progress, and I think it's moving along pretty rapidly. And I want to thank you all of the people that are here that have been working on it, and we'll let you know what happens. It'll either be fairly soon or it won't be at all. Trump said that the meeting that he had with Starmer were tremendously productive on working toward efforts to end the bloody, horrible war in Ukraine and Russia. Now, I wonder if he's saying that because Ukraine keeps pushing for them to be a part of NATO. It's not going to happen. And Trump said that straight to everyone's face. Like literally, I think it was yesterday or the day before. He said it again. He's like, no, they're not going to be a part of NATO. It is not going to happen. But they keep trying to peddle this whole thing like they are going to be a part of it. No, they're not. But I don't know what I don't know why that guy thinks he's acting as if he doesn't need the United States and Europe. He's acting as if he was by himself, that he would be fine. This guy has nothing. Zelensky has no cards. He doesn't have a single card. He's been given everything. So it's either you take the deal and keep your people from dying, or you're going to get your you-know-what kicked. So I don't know. I don't get it. Speaking of the Epstein list here, we got Kash Patel responding. FBI Director Kash Patel responded to a letter from Attorney General Pam Bondi on Thursday that accused the FBI of lying to her about turning over the files and on notorious child sex predator Jeffrey Epstein. This is what he said here on X. Let's go to this, take a little peeky. The FBI is entering a new era, one that will be defined by integrity, accountability, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. There will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, and no stone left unturned. And anyone from the prior or current bureau who undermines this will be swiftly pursued. Oh, baby, it's coming. It's coming. If there are gaps, we will find them. If records have been hidden, we will uncover them. And we will bring everything to find to the DOJ to be fully assessed and transparently disseminated to the American people, as it should be. The oath we take is to the Constitution, and under my leadership, that promise will be upheld without compromise. Damn, what a statement, Kash. I just got goosebumps. These people know how to get me going. Put them in jail, Director George. I agree. Prosecute anyone involved in withholding the Epstein files. Arrest and have to be put in prison time must follow. Then strip them of their pensions. America wants justice. That's not a bad idea, stripping people of pensions. That will get them moving really quick. Because what these people do is like, it's fine. I got a 6-figure pension coming in. Yeah, so fire me, get rid of me, or do what I'll resign, or whatever it is. I got stuff on my shirt. But these people are going to be cush because they're living off the government teat for the rest of their life on these nasty pensions that are there. They're like, okay, fine, I'll just quit. See you later. After they do all this damage. Ridiculous. What's going on, Franco? We don't need the UN. Honestly, I'm not sure NATO is our best interest either. Yeah, there's a conversation to be held around NATO, its interest, what should be doing. I think the UN is a bunch of garbage, basically, in my opinion. I've always said this, and I always try to get you guys some good books to read. I understand you're not a big fan of Nikki Haley, some of you, especially after what she did with Trump in this last election. Really phenomenal book, though, with her and her time as Donald Trump's UN ambassador. And she really gives you a behind the scenes of how the UN functions and what countries say to our face and what they say behind our back and how that's all handled. It will totally change your outlook of the UN. And you really just see the corruption, obviously the politics behind it, but really the nastiness, and just, it's really not even gonna make you like our allies that much, because these people are scummy, man. They talk so much crap behind our backs and not to our face. Some will talk crap to our face, meaning in those meetings, but behind closed doors, they're basically kissing the ring, be like, I had to say it. This is how it has to be, all this stupid stuff. I don't like the United Nations whatsoever. Not at all. Not at all. So we're going through the news here. I'm trying to pick out things that you might be interested in. There's a lot of stuff that is taking place. You have FEMA that's going to be looked under the microscope by the GOP. You also have this here. We're finally getting a little bit of news regarding the Donald Trump assassination, where Pennsylvania PI claims would-be Trump assassin wasn't working alone. I don't think a lot of people thought he was working alone. I'm still blown away. We don't know anything about this. Isn't it Trump has had multiple assassination attempts on his life, and we don't know anything about anything. How is that even possible? Well, I know how it's possible, but I have the feeling this kid was working with somebody. Remember how his cell phone pings were all around FBI offices? Weird, right? How many of you have ever been gone to an FBI office? Not many. Not many. And multiple times, by the way. You probably never been to an FBI office in your life. This kid was hanging around with them like he's having lunch every day. A private investigator from Pennsylvania is alleging that President Donald Trump's would-be assassin, Thomas Matthew Crooks, was not acting alone, and that there may have been others planning to pick up where he left off. Interesting. Doug Hogman told the New York Post that he had 6 others that he had been investigating the case since shortly after the shooting at the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, July 13th. Man, doesn't it feel like it was ages ago, but it's only back in July. Now, for those that are new here, we were actually streaming that live when it happened. We were one of the few people that was actually streaming that live, and insane. That was a bonkers day. That was a bonkers stream, man. It said that after interviewing over 100 people, they were convinced that a criminal network had played a role in the attempt. The reason why I never thought this guy was acting alone is because remember how he had that van that had a bunch of explosives in it? Y'all remember that? Well, that van with the explosives could be allegedly remotely detonated. But those blasting caps that were on top of it, allegedly, you could only do them 2 ways or get them 2 ways. You can either make them yourself, which from my understanding, this kid's a nut job, and there's no way in hell he's going to be making those himself without blowing himself up, basically. And then the other route was you buy them off the internet. Now, when you buy them off the internet, though, they're like zoomed in, watched, tracked on where they're going by, I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's the ATF or whoever. Meaning he probably got these somehow from somebody and built this stuff, or somebody helped them. We don't think he acted alone. This took a lot of coordination. In my view, Crooks was handled by more than one individual, and he was used for this assassination attempt. And I wouldn't preclude the possibility that there were people at the rally itself helping him. Hagman also alleged that the FBI might be withholding information about the case. Like I said, it's weird. We don't know anything. It's weird that they cremated the body. Do you guys know that they got rid of the body without, this is all alleged, by the way. I'm just telling you things I've heard. So take it, as I say, with a grain of salt. They got rid of the body before the coroner even knew the body was gone. That was what I heard. BS antennas going through the roof. Boop, 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 boop. Hagman also alleged the FBI might be holding with the information by either security personnel or federal agents as he attempted to carry out his investigation. One can assist in an operation like this by omission or standing down. There are people still out there involved in this case that need to be brought to justice. We don't even know who would or wouldn't be part of the case. We know one guy, and that's the guy that shot Trump. According to Hagman and his team, location data from electronic devices that were geolocated with Crooks at multiple points leading up to the shooting don't add up. At least one device geolocated with Crooks that day is still pinging at a local high school. Huh? Clay Higgins, who served on the bipartisan task force investigating the attempted assassination, says that he believes Crooks acted alone. He did agree with at least one of Hagman's claims, however, saying that the FBI was more of a hindrance than a help to this investigation as well. Higgins' theory, rather than a conspiracy involving a criminal network, is that drugs ultimately played a role in pushing Crooks over the edge. Oh, come on. That's silly. I don't believe that one bit. I think there's way more to this story. I think possibly the Iranians could be in the mix here, paying the kid off. We don't know, we don't know anything about we don't know how much money was in his bank accounts, how much money was funneling. Nothing. It's crazy that 8 months later, it's only been 8 months. It feels like it's been years. We don't know nothing. Well, shout out to Jason Marlin. He says he's new. Let's always say, what's up, Jason? How you doing? It's good seeing you. And again, we do this each and every day. Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific. Yeah, Pacific Standard Time. I always think it's PM. I'm still waking up. It's tough to do a morning show. Keith here is Trump un casino. Don't know what that means, but appreciate the message. So I don't know. We'll keep you updated. The article sounds like BS. Yeah, maybe it might. It totally might be. That's just a PI doing some investigative work. Hey, but you know what? Here's the thing. At least somebody's doing something. You know what I mean? How is it we've gone this long? You don't hear stuff from the FBI. You don't hear a task force out there. You don't see the Secret Service telling us anything. We don't know where the kid, like, people were saying that when they went into his house, that his house was cleaned and swabbed like basically a surgery room. We don't have anything. With that guy that barreled that truck down in New Orleans, we were in his house the same day, and they brought in journalists with cameras going, look at all this stuff, me, look at all of it. Got nothing. So we'll be on the lookout for that, bringing you the latest on what the hell's going on with the Donald Trump assassination. We still don't know much about the guy that was going to shoot him at the golf course. Y'all remember that one, where Trump was going to be potentially about 10 feet away from the guy, and that guy had a scope. That guy actually had the right sights on. So that's scary stuff. There also is this news that actually my buddies told me about. You got this trans-identifying Canadian man charged with stabbing his own 2 children released. A trans-identifying man in Canada is on the streets again after he was arrested for allegedly stabbing 2 young children earlier this month, leaving the 8-year-old on a feeding tube. Holy lordy. Alice Michael Atwood, 35, was charged with aggravated assault after his 2 children suffered knife wounds on February 19th. What the hell? One child, age 8, was taken to the hospital with a severed esophagus, and will be on a feeding tube for several months. The other child, age 7, suffered minor knife wounds. Both children are reportedly in stable condition. Atwood identifies as a trans woman and gender fluid, as well as leftist, and uses they, she, he pronouns according to multiple posts on social media. George, I think we got you a girlfriend there, buddy. George, we got somebody for you. And look, they're not bald. I got them. Travis Cobb, thank you for the $2. I don't believe anything right now, to be honest. It is tough to see what's going on with the Epstein list taking too long. And this is how, actually, this brings up a really great point. With what's taking so long with the delay of the Epstein list, where Pam Bondi's saying, well, I need to review them, and it's not coming as fast as we thought. When you give big promises, when you overpromise and underdeliver, you start kind of losing that trust that people have built. And there's kind of that saying of it takes years to build trust, but only seconds to lose it. That's slowly how I am personally kind of getting in terms of where we're at with the FBI, where we're at with Pam Bondi. And the only reason I am staying trustworthy in a sense that we'll get the information is because of who's there with Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and then Pam Bondi. So could it possibly be that the FBI is really doing those types of things where there's these holdouts from the Biden administration that are these lunatic lefty FBI agents? Absolutely. But I just find it weird that I think they don't have anything, or if they do, they're withholding it. I don't know, man. It's tough to try to make sense of any of this, to be honest. Infinite consciousness. Holy Lord, there you go. Blackmail is that list. Look at that. There's a lot of new people. I haven't seen some of these names in here. This is great. I'm always here, but listen while working. Oh, Shadow. Okay, heck yeah. So it's cool. It's yeah, there's a lot of people that do watch us while we're at work. Hopefully you have headphones in because I throw out a word or two. I might throw an upsie. Do you think Mom will like her? Oh geez, George. Maybe. I don't know. Your mom might be taken if we introduce her, that thing to her. You get it. All right. Going into other news here, Elon Musk and DOGE, you have DOGE rapid response saying, most importantly to our warfighters and American taxpayers, you have this statement coming out. That's kind of all it says here.
Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell here. Welcome to our new weekly situation report, or as we say in the military, SITREP. The purpose of this is to be the most transparent DOD in American history for our warfighters and the American people. It was an action-packed America First week at the Department of Defense. The president nominated Lieutenant General Dan Raisin Kane as the next chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The Senate confirmed Army veteran and accomplished attorney Dan Driscoll as the Secretary of the Army. Super psyched about that, and we are very much looking forward to having them both on the team here at the Pentagon. Secretary Hegseth visited Naval Station Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, where he served as a second lieutenant in 2004. He visited our warfighters and inspected the detention facilities where criminal illegal aliens are being held as they await swift deportation. The UK pledged to increase their defense spending, which was a direct response to Secretary Hegseth's push for European NATO leadership just 2 weeks ago. This, despite a legacy media narrative that the Secretary's NATO trip remarks needed to be walked back or would somehow backfire. As usual, the legacy media was wrong. Our public affairs shop directed all diversity, equity, and inclusion content to be removed from websites and social media. DOD-wide, at the Pentagon, we reject the divisive and discriminatory notion that diversity is our strength. It's not. Our shared unity and purpose are our strengths. Under President Trump and Secretary Hegseth's leadership, DEI is dead at the DOD. And finally, at President Trump's first cabinet meeting, Secretary Hegseth promised the American people the overdue accountability that they deserve for the Biden administration's disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. Folks, that is all we have for you.
That's kind of fun that they'll have an update for us over there at DOD Rapid Response. There's a couple rapid response. DOGE has a rapid response, so as well as the DOD. I'll actually give them a little bit of a shout out here. If you want to follow them, it's at DOD Response, and that way you're at least getting up-to-date news. Of course, there's always going to be a spin on it. There's going to be making Trump look good. That's obviously baked into the cake, but it's still nice to know what's going on and get a recap, especially that there's so much news right now. It's hard to keep track of what Trump has done and then remember it and then move forward. Even for me, it's difficult, but we try to hang in there somewhat and keep pace with Donald Trump. The guy's a freaking workhorse, man. He's a powerhouse, and that's what we needed. We needed a powerhouse, a workhorse, and a great person to symbolize what America is. America's always been a workhorse. It's always been a powerhouse. It's only come to recent times where we're kind of starting to, get tired and like complain about everything and all this stuff. America has always been on top, baby, and we're going to be on top again with Donald Trump in office. Now, here's some updates on that Mexico-Canada tariff situation, folks. I can't tell you enough how many Mexicans I pissed off on TikTok. Go into TikTok and follow me over there. Link to my TikTok is down below. They are pissed. And that's what's public is what they're posting. You should see the messages. Yo, F you, puto. You don't know nothing on me. She'll never bend the knee to you, fool. She never kissing no ring. Only nobody. She don't bend no knee. I say, you don't know nothing, fool. It's so funny to watch. By the way, half my family's Mexican by marriage. But dude, they're losing it. Oh, they're freaking out because I was like, oh, she bent the knee to Donald Trump. She bent the knee really quick. She kissed daddy's ring. She's a ring kisser. Got makeup all over it. We had to send it to Robin's brothers to get cleaned. Justin Trudeau got his lipstick on it too. It wasn't just Mexico, so chill out, everybody from Mexico. Justin Trudeau bent the knee as well. It's not just you guys. And so did Colombia. It's just caked with lipstick. Well, here's the update for you, Patriots. I'm being serious, by the way. They lost their shit over it. Trump confirms tariffs on Mexico, Canada will be implemented on March 4th in 4.5 days. Here we go. Buckle up. President Donald Trump on Thursday confirmed that tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico will indeed be implemented on March 4th, as well as hitting China with an additional 10% tariff. Oh, no. Here we go. This is what he said. Drugs are pouring into our country from Mexico, Canada at a high and unacceptable levels. It's true. It's true. A large percentage of these drugs, much of them, a lot of them, in the form of fentanyl, just fentanyl with a capital F, are made in and supplied by China. China, more than 1,000 people, 100,000 actually, a lot of people. A lot of people died from fentanyl. Died last year due to the destruction and distribution of these dangerous and highly effective and addicted poisonous drugs. I'm embezzling a little bit, but let's finish it. Millions of people have died over the last 2 decades. The families of the victims are devastated and in many instances virtually destroyed. We cannot allow this scourge to continue to harm the USA, and therefore, until it stops or is seriously limited, the proposed tariffs scheduled to go into effect on March 4th will indeed go into effect as scheduled. China will likewise be charged an additional 10% tariff on that date. The April 2nd reciprocal tariff date will remain in full effect, in full force. In February, Trump warned that Mexico would impose tariffs on products imported from China, Canada, and Mexico, but he temporarily halted the tariffs on Mexico and China after they responded with measures dealing with illegal immigration and the flow of drugs across the American border. He did levy a 10% tariff on all Chinese imports that went into effect on February 4th, prompting China to respond by imposing 15% tax on American exports to China. Trump's post was an apparent attempt to clarify his position. In addition to the tariffs on Mexico and China, reciprocal tariffs will take place April 2nd. So tariffs going back and forth. There's a trade war in effect. And what happened was there was already allegedly Mexican troops at the border. And this is what people were saying. This is why they were coming at me. Oh, she didn't bend the knee. She would never bend the knee. No, your president bends the knee quite often. Oh, quite often. That's why the country's in the state it's in. That's why your country's being ran by criminals, because she bends the knee to who? Criminals. She bends the knee everywhere. She's kissing a lot of rings, a lot of different rings. She's not doing anything over there. So they go, well, no, Donald Trump got hosed. He's the one that bent the knee because there was already troops there. Donald Trump got suckered. He got played. This is how stupid these people are. And by these people, I'm talking about Democrats. You'll go, oh, you're talking about Mexicans. You're calling Mexicans stupid. No, I'm not. Shut up. Talk about the people that are saying these things. They're stupid. And there's some of them are Democrats. Some of them are lefties. Some of them are Mexican. Some of them aren't Mexican. They're idiots. Those troops that were there were sent by who, Patriots? Donald Trump. Back when? In 2019. That's when they were sent there. That's why there's 10,000 troops there, you idiots. Those that are commenting on TikTok. And they go, oh, no, that's not true. Biden was the one that sent them there. No. Biden's move in 2021 was asking Mexico to keep them there to help stem the flow of illegal immigration. Just shows you how good of a job those people were doing, meaning those soldiers that Mexico sent to the border, which was probably just civilians dressed in military clothing. They weren't doing anything. And so Donald Trump in this new part was saying, we need an additional 10,000 because they can't add, right? If you have 10,000 of something plus 10,000 of another thing, how much does that make? We have to do it for them. I would use pictures if we had it. Oh, you hold up your fingers. Here's 10. Okay, how many you have? 10. Plus another 10. 10. That gives you 20,000. Good job. You did it. You did it. You did it. 1 + 1 = 2. I know it's difficult for some of these people, but they're learning. They're getting there. They're evolving. They're adapting. They're growing. They're getting bigger. It's great. It's phenomenal. It's a new thing. It's revolutionary. You have to explain it to them. Like I said, I'd use puppets. I'd do the whole gambit if I had it. Maybe we should get sock puppets for them. It might work. Ooh, puppets. You know, they're showing up. Oh boy. Well, it's good to see you all in the chat. If you're liking what you're hearing and seeing, hit that subscribe button, follow us, send it to your friends and family. Tell them that you know this bald guy that acts like an idiot online, and go watch him. It's entertaining. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow us, folks. We have a lot of stuff here. We're not done with the news. I want to hop over to X to see what is going on with the breaking news, to see if the Epstein list is in fact out, and it's not. But we have here, what do we have here? DOGE is exposing failures that any competent business would have under control, but the government doesn't. This is a great point here from Fox. Let's roll it. Fox Business.
With you, Maria.
And of course, you were in that meeting yesterday. What can you tell us?
DOGE is finding things that any business should have under control, but the federal government does not. Let me give you a couple examples.
Okay.
They found an agency that had twice as many credit cards outstanding as there were employees at the agency. They have found fields on computers that say, where is this payment being made to, and to whom is it being made for what? And those fields are empty. They've never been filled out. Money's outgoing. We don't know where it's going. And it is not, it's the worst of business practices, and it's happening with billions of taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, I was reading that there were like more than 4 million credit cards or something, and there were 2.5 or 3 million people working in government. How's that possible? People had dual credit cards, and then they were using those credit cards for what? Transportation and trips and things like that?
That's just it, Maria. We don't know. When I was state treasurer in Wyoming, the auditors would come into my office at the end of every fiscal year, and they were there for 3 months because I managed all the money in the state of Wyoming. We don't do that in the federal government, and there's absolutely no excuse for the irresponsible handling of U.S. taxpayer dollars. That's what Elon Musk is looking at.
Yeah.
He is finding waste, fraud, and abuse, and it's extensive.
I don't know if I believe her when she says that we can't track the credit cards, because credit cards give you a credit card statement, meaning I'm not saying you know who's spending the money, but you would be at least able to see where the money's going. And I mean, it would give you kind of a hint, wouldn't it? If you're going to like Planned Parenthood and put it on the credit card, probably get you a good, you can just kind of see, you know what I mean? Like if you're buying a bunch of cigars on a credit card, it's probably going to be a Republican guy. You know what I mean? It's probably going to be a conservative. If you're buying whiskey, probably going to be a conservative guy. You know what I mean? If you're buying butt plugs, well, we know what party that's for, the Democrats. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? You know what I mean? I just say, I'm calling balls and strikes here. You know that's true. You know, oh, it's weird. I got to think of anal beads for $25 on the credit card statement. Democrats. Butt plugs. Democrats. $59 million to condoms in Mozambique. Democrats. Transing dolphins in the Pacific. Democrats. Cigars. Republicans. Whiskey. Republicans. Bonfires with the boys. Republicans. Going out shooting with the boys and girls. Republicans. Target shooting. Republicans. American flags on back order. Republicans. Making America great again hats. Republicans. Like, it's obvious, right? We can't hide. We can't hide. Neither can they. Neither can they. Hopefully that wasn't over the top. Sometimes I bring too much energy. You got to act ridiculous, folks. That's why we're here. It's all entertainment. I tell you, there's manipulation on my show. I've been clear about that. You're being manipulated a little bit. Obviously, I don't walk around acting and going on. I'm not walking down the streets going, cigars, Republicans, hey! Of course, it's for entertainment, folks. That's why you're here. That's why we're all here. To have a little bit of fun. A little bit of fun in the morning. It's Friday, man. I hope we're all having a good day. I hope our day's kicking off right. If it's not, folks, you know, hopefully I made your day a little bit better. I hope I do. And I hope that you feel connected to the community that we have here. Because it's about the community. It's not about me. It's about all of you. Miriam, I see you, girl. I see you, Miriam. Miriam's been here for a long time. Member for 11 months. The Bald Brad Army. Thank you so much, Miriam. Miriam, shout out to you. Love you, girl. Love you, girl. Jason here, point finger and scream for attention, but with zero end results. Don't know what you're talking about, but appreciate you, Jason. You got to be a little bit more clear, brother. Maybe you are in the chat, but there's a lot of people writing on both chats. So let's get to one more thing here. And let's see what I want to choose here. God, I have so many articles. I have so much stuff. Here we go. Let's get to this scummy guy, because this is relatable to me, and I want to do something relatable. So you are failing. Isn't that the title of my thumbnail yesterday? Newsom mocked after announcing podcast plans. I swear that was my thumbnail yesterday. Anyways, Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom was roundly mocked on Wednesday after he announced plans for a podcast while his state struggles with crime, homelessness, and more. That's my state. So he said he's going to launch a new podcast. I'm not going to subject us to that again, right? He's acting all weird. Like, we got a new podcast coming out. Like, all right, dude, chill out. He's going to tell us all this information, right? He's going to tell us why we don't have eggs. You think he's going to blame it on the Democrat Party for shooting like 140 million birds? No. He's going to tell us how tariffs work. How do you think that one's going to roll out? You think he's going to blame Donald Trump a little bit? And he's going to talk about DOGE, how DOGE is bad for you. Yeah, sure. We all know the agenda here. It's just because now they're losing the grip on the legacy media, and now people are going to podcasts, or going to influencers, or going to conservative outlets to get their news now, because these scummy guys lie. And now he's trying to lie some more. Remember, this guy spent billions of dollars, billions, to build nothing. It was like $16 billion for the high-speed rail over 17 years, has not built anything. I think he built 4 to 6 pillars of cement. I think that was it. And I know it sounds satirical when I say that. You guys, when I say he didn't build any rail, he didn't build any high-speed rail. So where's the 16 billion at? Nobody knows. We all know it's in his friends' pockets. Let's start with why. Did you throw a party for yourself at the French Laundry with no masks on in the middle of COVID, when California had just about the strictest COVID requirements and regulations in the country, and thousands of small businesses were going out of business because of said policies? This comes from Dave Portnoy, and he's absolutely correct. So these are things that Gavin Newsom did. One podcast host wrote, "Okay, at Gavin Newsom, why want to have some guests who disagree with you on your podcast? I'll gladly come on and explain why you are an evil devil worshiper lizard person who uses aborted fetuses as hair gel. Jesus, call me." Another conservative host wrote, the more I think about this, the angrier I get. A governor shouldn't need a podcast to communicate with his constituents. This is literally your job every day. If you need a podcast, you're failing. Spoiler alert, you're failing. Yes, he is. Several others suggested Newsom should try governing California first. That's what I said. That was one of me. Especially while the state faces problems like rebuilding after wildfires in Los Angeles, the rising crime, the homelessness amid massive exodus from people leaving the state for a better life. Your state is literally in shambles. Homelessness is a massive problem. Communities are still just ash. And you think now is a good time to launch a podcast. That's because they're idiots. They're not with the rest of us. These people think they're kings and queens, folks. They're not with us. They don't know what is going on. Another person added, "I've said this before and I'll say it again. Not everyone needs a podcast. Please focus on fixing your liberal hellhole of a state." Correct. Yes, sir. I would love to get Adam Carolla and Newsom together again, because Adam Carolla smacked the crap out of Newsom. I mean, really sent him back to the Stone Age, just like Donald Trump does with all the other people. Before we go, folks, we got free stuff for you again. I know you love the free. And I mean that F-R-E-E, so you're going to want to grab these up here. Are you ready to show your support and style, folks? Sticker Mule has a fantastic offer again just for you. Because you guys are grabbing these up like hotcakes, they keep sponsoring the show. For a limited time, you can grab free Trump stickers. Yes, you heard that correctly. There's no gimmick here. Free, F-R-E-E. Whether you want to decorate your laptop, car, or office space, these high-quality, durable stickers are perfect for making a statement. Just imagine how great they'll look. And they're super easy to apply. Folks, I've said you don't just have to put them on those things. You can also put them as like the stickers for like gift wraps, or if you have like a birthday present, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter, it is. You can put these things everywhere. You can put them on, if there's a Democrat walking around with their helmet and drip tray on the street, just pop that on their helmet. You know what I mean? Like a little star, gold sticker. Just make it a Trump sticker. I did that. He sent them back to the Stone Age. That's what he does. Here's how it works. Just head over to stickerpack.com, sign up and claim your free stickers, and watch the fun unravel, baby. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Stock is limited, so act fast, spread the word, and let your voice be heard. Sticker Mule's awesome stickers. Once again, visit stickerpack.com today and grab your free Trump stickers because, well, they're going to be gone soon, so get them before they are gone. I love it. It's such a great product. It's such a good idea. And it's fun, man. When you give a Trump supporter a Trump sticker, because nobody does that, you know what I mean? You're going to set yourself apart from everybody else, and you're doing it absolutely free, which is awesome. Well, that being said, that is today's episode. Here's an update for all the Patriots. Starting next week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, again, starting next week in March, every Tuesday and Thursday, we are going to have our Dark MAGA podcast at night. Okay. Dark MAGA podcast will be at night, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're going to have our normal broadcast show, 6 a.m. every weekday. That's not going anywhere. Our normal show that you just watched will be on Rumble, X, Twitter, maybe even TikTok at some point, if I can get that figured out. But then at night, Rumble Premium only. Okay. Rumble Premium only. So the viewers will be a little bit lower, but I want you guys to grab Rumble Premium. And then you can come hang out with us on Dark MAGA podcasts. And we can actually do stuff that's like copyright and have a little bit more fun. So head over to Rumble, follow us over there, and join Rumble Premium. You don't have any ads, but if you don't have Rumble Premium, you won't be able to watch. It's only going to be on Rumble. I know I'm repeating myself. It's only going to be on Premium. It will not be on YouTube X or anywhere else. So Dark MAGA will only be on Rumble Premium. Just want to be clear. And it's Dark MAGA for a reason, folks. Okay, come in, put in headphones, because there's going to be cussing. There's going to be it all, right? It's like unfiltered, man. It'll be like rated R. That doesn't mean we're going to be too crazy. We got to keep a simmer in here because there's some youngsters that watch the show, but you know what I mean. We're going to have some fun, man. I'm stoked for Dark MAGA nights. I'm so stoked. But it's only on Rumble Premium. So with that being said, hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us everywhere and everywhere. And I hope all of you have a lovely day. Make it a good day, folks. Even if you're having a bad day, make it a good day. And pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. And you have an even better weekend. I'll see you next time here on The Bald Brad Show. Take care, Patriots.